My name is Algimantas. I represent Creator, the Paradise Trinity. I am on and to this planet. I present spiritual teachings as well as train spiritual teachers. I do it in two languages, my native Lithuanian and in English. In English, I usually choose the places in nature, in the city, while in Lithuanian I present my teachings in our living temple, the Paradise Trinity I Am Living Temple, that I have established in 2002 at Creator's request. This is the only living temple on our planet because it has no any material ritual, just opening our spiritual personality, our heart to Creator, and then communion starts all of a sudden out of a spiritual personality which is within this material human body. Our true, eternal person, our self. Outer forms are changing, and once we are resurrected, we'll be given a higher frequency vibration outer form. But this form will have this very same spiritual personality. That I'm here, standing in this body, in this environment, and presenting you my spiritual teaching. So this is the environment I will show you. The environment I'm in. This is the city. The city I reside in. So it's a volleyball net and court for locals just to entertain themselves, to engage in some sport activity, as this physical human body demands movement and physical, well, certain training, at least walking, intensive walking. By the way, I have arrived on my bike. I'll show you the bike. That's it. Resting on grass. So now I would like to touch upon a very, I would say, very significant issue, that is private property of land. Now people who own land might sell it to whomever they want and at whatever price they desire, just taking into consideration the market requirements. But Creator has not designed that his evolutionary plan and evolution, since Creator is the author of all evolution, development, movement, so he has not designed that planets he has created out of his energy should be commercialized, should be sold having first divided into certain, say, sites of land for construction. That's not the idea of creator, that humans would sell the product that has not been created by man himself. If you create something either by your mind, like music or some drama pieces, works of art, you are free to sell them. It's your property. But land, which is only on the planet, you have not created it. You have no right to sell it, because it's not your property. Well, of course, people design their own means of dealing with land. And after a while, it has turned into a certain custom. Later on, it turned into a certain law, even adopted by the law adopting official institutions. But that against Creator's will. Creator has designed evolution as brotherhood of the whole of the creation family. And any planet, even the say smallest planets like ours, that are furthest away from the dwelling abode of Creator, which is in the very center of the whole of creation, and which is called Paradise, they are to be developed following Creator's will and leading by Creator every person who has first discovered Creator within himself, within his spiritual personality. And this brotherhood should spread all over the humanity. So, even though our planet has developed out of our sun energy, once an enormous pressure of heat from the center of the sun that has the temperature, well, 35 million degrees according to Fahrenheit, or 22 million degrees according to Celsius. So this enormous pressure was pulling out masses of burning energy, just enormous amount of energy is flying out of the sun. But since the sun has also enormous attraction, so part of the liberated energy is being retracted back into the sun. And still, those parts that find themselves furthest away from the sun body manage to escape the attraction grasp by the sun, and they run away from the sun into space. But it's still a burning mass. It's energy. But the temperature is already around, well, on the surface of the sun, the temperature is 4,000 degrees. So it's getting cooler and cooler in space. But if say, these masses are huge, they also attract smaller bodies flying around in space. So this little by little is being accumulated in an ever bigger and bigger size of that burning mass. So this is the way our planet has, in a way, originated. So all the same, the sun energy is also creator's energy, because the sun cannot appear out of nothing. Creator's energy is being controlled, manipulated by certain sons of creator. They are capable of doing these manipulations with creator's energy in space. So the process of creation of a planet, even those evolutionary planets like ours, but there are already specially designed for educational purposes planets and worlds, as we call them. And they are being constructed specially for the purpose. So these planets are called architectural spheres. They are not evolutionary, but they are also in space, in cosmos. And they are all in movement. They are all in motion. So this is the creation of Creator through his sons, but out of his own energy. So once the size of the planet acquires already the size that it should normally be, and there are no more some flying parts, flying burning energy parts that should be, say, attracted to a huge body of the planet, then a special commission is being sent to this planet, and they are investigating all the environment of this planet, whether or not there is atmosphere, what sort of atmosphere, what size of the planet, what attraction it produces, because on these data there will be formed a life plasma, and this life plasma shall be the initial life on the planet. But this life plasma, well, will be tested thousands upon thousands of times just to be certain that this life can develop on this planet, in this environment, or it should be in a way corrected, modulated in a bit different way. So this is experimentation by Creator through the operation of his sons that are capable of doing all this work. They are qualified by Creator for this sort of a task. So life is created on this planet. The planet itself is created. Everything is out of Creator's energy. Just think for a while. If you cut any part of the body, you don't have to do anything. This wound will heal by itself, because this is a living cell, and it has been designed that life should reproduce itself on the planet. And physical cells do reproduce themselves. That's why the wound is healing by itself, but actually not by itself, because Creator has designed this way, this sort of a body. And all of a sudden, this man begins to make business out of the property of land, because he didn't have spiritual teachers who would educate them, who would enlighten them spiritually, that he would look upon the planet not as a place and means for enriching his wealth in a material way, but to create ever better environment, conditions for the next generation, so that every generation should improve the living conditions as against those they have received from the former generation. And that means that we should live better than our parents. Our children should live better than we. Their children should live better than they have lived on this planet. And this is possible only if you discover Creator within your heart. Then Brotherhood begins to reveal itself through one Creator for all. Because Creator is both our Father and Mother. And for each member of the creation family, of all these planets, myriads of planets, it's the same Creator. So that's why it is just natural that all members of the Creator spiritual family are brethren, and they should live in brotherhood. So then, completely different quality of understanding of what is the planet, of what are the environments in the planet, what is the purpose of life on the planet, what is the meaning of our operation on the planet. All of a sudden, material wealth stops being as a target to be achieved. All these, say, different lists of millionaires, billionaires become unnecessary, because brotherhood is such an enormous power out of Creator's energy being experienced within each spiritual personality. that you cannot exploit others just to generate ever higher profits at their expense, at their cost. And the means of selling land, while now being one of the major sources of enriching oneself, becomes totally unnecessary. But not because somebody forbids to sell it. No, because you realize in your heart, well, actually in your developed and spiritualized brain, by your divine spiritual personality mind, that this is not the way to construct one's life on the planet, by trying to enrich oneself by selling what does not belong to you. The land of this planet, divided into separate sites, plots, and so on. And consequently, all the natural resources on this planet cannot belong to private people, because they have not created these natural resources. It's Creator's resources to be used for the benefit of the whole of humanity. Of the whole of humanity. It's the same as with land. So all countries should be using these resources equally, even though the resources are accumulated in certain definite parts of the planet. But they do not belong to these nations inhabiting these parts. No, it belongs to humanity, belongs to Creator in reality. But Creator is leasing these material wealth, natural resources, to the whole of His children on this planet. Leases, so that we would create a better living environment for the coming generation. It's simple as ABC, but it is impossible to logically arrive at this conclusion without first discovering Creator within. And having discovered Creator within, your mind makes a quantum leap the way he looks upon the environment, upon everything what is going on this planet. You become like a true son of Creator, because you begin to experience Creator within. And it is possible because Creator has bestowed His own Spirit, called a thought adjuster, upon human mind, that made the very first moral decision. And on our planet, in this generation, it might be around 4-5 years of age. Just a little kid shares with his friends toys or some favorable treat. And this is a moral decision. And Creator sends His Spirit his thought adjuster, out of his dwelling abode paradise to this mind, to indwell, enlighten this mind, spiritualize this mind. That's why you must probably notice that little children are sincere. They are trusting. If you tell them something, they trust your words. Unfortunately, the greedy parents who are leading their lives counter-creator as well, very soon pollute this little child's divine mind by exposing the animal origin mind to domination, within this same brain. So that's why polluting little kids by not explaining them anything about Creator, not speaking about brotherhood, not saying a word about the meaning of their coming to this life. They are polluting this child, and by this leading him to different young diseases, young illnesses, because the kid is growing in low frequency vibrations, and only Creator's spiritualization raises these vibrations to a much higher frequency, and which is a guarantee of good health, of sober mind, logical thinking, and acting in brotherhood for the benefit of all humanity, and even of the whole of creation. So little kids are like empty vessels. It is so easy to fill them up with clean and pure water, or with some muddy, dirty liquid. Unfortunately, their parents are behaving by filling their children with muddy water, with filthy water. And this is going on and down through generations. That's why I am on the planet, to represent Creator and to attract your attention to higher things than just the material plane. And your meaning is not to earn for a living as much as possible. No. Your meaning is to come to my assistance. Come as my spiritual brother or sister. Just that you would drink my living word, which is actually from Creator, the Paradise Trinity I am. Just listen to my words you have heard today with your open heart, not simply intellectually. Intellectually, you will miss the message I'm doing my best to deliver to you. You should listen to my words with your spiritual and divine mind. So I'm using metaphorically. Listen with your heart. You listen with your ears and understand with your mind. But it has a double origin. First, the animal origin from this life plasma I mentioned before, and then the spiritual and divine mind that is being developed, as I've said before, by spiritual being, entity, creator spirit, thought adjuster. So that's why you should drink my words with the mind that creator spirit has touched with his subtle energy vibrations, to wake it up, to wake up as personality, to wake up for changing everything what's around us, in politics, in economy, in family life, in our everyday relationships, in education, in medicine, everywhere. I have to introduce changes. Yeah, that's true. I'm saying I have to introduce changes because no one else can do it, as I'm Creator's ambassador to this and on this planet. So whatever I'm telling you, it is Creator's living word, and it corresponds to Creator's evolutionary plan. And my life is based on Creator only. And I have just one purpose: to do His will, the way He is leading me from within. And this teaching is also His, only through my lips and spiritualized mind of my spiritual personality, which is eternal. I embrace you all and leave you in peace with Creator.